Have you ever struggled to come up with a plot hook for your next D&D campaign? Well, today we have 7 of them for you, starting with a dwarf that has got stuck in a very precarious position and ending with a full-on centaur revolution. If you like any of these, please do like, comment and subscribe, and let me know what you think should be in the next video down below. The party is captured by a marauding band of orcs. They are tied up and thrown in cages and are going to be used as slave labour. That is, until one of the orcs announces that the leader wants to see them. The leader is clearly revered for their strength as well as their intellect, which surpasses all the other orcs. This orc is an Orog, known for its cunning and battle tactics. The party are forced into the largest tent in the camp and are confronted with a rather rotund dwarf in green makeup wearing fake muscles. He implores the party to help them escape, saying that they used to travel with a performing troupe and the orcs had rescued him from their clutches weeks ago, and now he needs to escape. The Paloxit artifact has kept this small village safe for many, many years, and now it is broken. Misfortune follows quickly after. The mayor of the village puts out a plea to any adventuring parties or aspiring blacksmiths to fix the issue. The main problem is that the artifact was forged deep in the Underdark in the Duergar forges, and a trip to the Underdark is not for the faint of heart. If the party undertakes this quest, they will travel to the Underdark to seek out the famous Duergar who made the first version. This stickler Duergar, however, will refuse to help, telling the party he doesn't trust surface dwellers after the mayor's ancestor messed him over the first time around. The party need to convince him, or use the forge themselves to make the new relic, but both of these choices come with their own dangers. A monastery to the goddess of peace was absolutely destroyed, and there was only one survivor, a lowly acolyte who is now scarred beyond belief but knows information about the attack that the head bishop of the goddess needs to hear. Unfortunately, the head bishop is on the other side of the continent, and the acolyte has been cursed so that he is unable to teleport or use message. If the party try and get the information out of the acolyte, it will sound like chaos and be intelligible. Only those with the blessing of the goddess of peace have a calm enough mind to understand it. A journey across the continent ensues as the acolyte becomes the target of more and more furious attacks, the party defending them the whole way. The group becomes a thing of legend, news of their travel stretching all across the land. Weeks later, they arrive in front of the head bishop, and the party watch as the acolyte approaches. He then draws his knife and stabs the head bishop. Why? Well, that's for you to decide. A local zoo has been struggling financially. They are down to their final few gold pieces, and in an act of desperation, they contact a sorcerer, pay him the remaining gold, and ask him to revitalise their animals. He does this by putting spells on a variety of them, making them more energetic, or making them multicoloured, or breathe fire. Unfortunately, no one discusses these with him, and therefore the leading attraction, a 30-foot long python, has been given the ability to fly, and fly pretty fast at that. The party approaching the town see the python flying away and the desperate townfolk chasing underneath it. The party need to chase down this flying snake, who seems to be flying somewhere in particular. Was this a true accident? Or did the sorcerer have an ulterior motive? The party comes across a small settlement in the outskirts of a rather dangerous land. The settlement is only occupied by children and teenagers. They tell the party that they should probably leave, as anyone who stays overnight who is over the age of 21 disappears. If the party do stay the night, they will be attacked by what appears to be a child, but quickly reveals itself to be a shapeshifter. The fight will end with the Doppelganger escaping. In the morning, the child they initially saw at night is now missing too, meaning the Doppelganger has changed its disguise, removing another child to take its place. The kids become more and more scared and angry at the party, who they blame for losing their friend. What does the party decide to do? Leave the Doppelganger to hide and disappear kids as they reach 21? Or try and find the Doppelganger and end this cycle? As you are walking down the road, a tree suddenly blocks the path. If the party turns around, that same tree will also be blocking the path after a few minutes. Investigating this tree reveals an arrow in its branches directing the party. This tree will continue to reappear in front of the party and eventually will direct them towards a castle, surrounded by animated trees. Approaching the castle will reveal that a sorcerer lives there who's awakening the entire forest. What is their end goal? That's for you to decide. A city full of sleaze and corruption has been expanding its territory into the nearby woodlands. Hundreds of trees have been cut down and thousands of animals have either been displaced or butchered. The Baron of this town is gleefully planning his latest expansion when he hears word that all the horses in the town are acting incredibly weird. They are refusing orders and running around causing havoc. The Baron calls in an adventuring party to try and unearth the issues with his stallions. The party arrives and checks out the horses. Previous attempts at dispelling or detecting magic have failed, but one of the horses lets your ranger near. As they soothe the horse, it reverts to its natural form, a centaur. It turns out all the horses have been replaced with altar-selfed centaurs, and the stage has been set for a rebellion.